All right, so the Kink Whip, the 2025 Kink Whip, this is one that I'm always excited about. I'm probably the reason these bikes are always sold out. Like, I don't shut up about the Kink Whip. Let's talk about the Kink Whip. This is one of the best value BMX bikes that you can get. $500, full chromoly, double wall rims. You just can't lose on this bike. Is it perfect? No, there's a lot of stuff you can do to make this bike better, but as a bike right out the box for 500 bucks, you cannot find a better bike that has the quality that this bike has. Okay, it's just good baseline quality. So let's take a look at it, and then we'll decide, should you buy it? Probably. If it's right for you, yes, but it's not right for everybody. So that's what we're going to talk about here. Anyway, $499, crazy good deal. It's got a 20.5 inch top tube, which essentially means here is my doodle of a top tube, and oops, oh well, good enough. It's a race frame. Anyway, essentially the top tube is from here to here. It's how far it is from your feet to your hands, all the way over there, and this is 20.5. This is a good height or good size for people who are 5'6" to 5'9". All right, so if you're in between those heights and you say, is the Kink Whip good for me? The answer is probably yes, because this is good for that. Okay, so pay attention, keep up. All right, back to here. We're going to talk about 13.25 inch chainstay, 75 degree head tube angle, 32 millimeter fork offset. Everything else in here is pretty standard, but I will say this is a little bit longer than normal. This is a little bit longer than normal. And what that does, those numbers essentially mean how stable the bike is. So if we look at responsive, like a super responsive We the People Versus, that's designed for park riding, and we look at mellow, which is something like the what's the Gary Young sound, the Sunday. Damn. Anyway, hold on. Let's say We the People Revolver, okay? Versus Revolver. Revolver super mellow, Versus is very responsive. The Kink Whip's gonna sit about right here, okay? It is a pretty mellow bike, meaning that it's gonna feel stable, it's gonna feel controlled. If you're at high speeds, if you're on dirt jumps, if you're taking tight corners, you're doing anything like that, the bike is gonna feel pretty stable because it has a longer chainstay. It has the fork offset's a little bit longer. So anyway, that's how the Kink Whip is gonna feel. It's how it's gonna handle, okay? But the biggest thing here, so what I talk about the most with my videos is the value, right? The value is the most important thing to me. And when you are determining if a bike is good value, you're looking at two things. You're looking at quality and you're looking at price. And if the quality is really high and the price is really low, you have a good value bike, right? And that's why the Kink Whip always scores so well. Okay, it just is, because for low price, $500, you get full chromoly frame, full chromoly forks, full chromoly handlebars, chromoly cranks, Mission Mylar double wall rims. You get a sealed cassette, sealed front hub. Okay, overall, it is a pretty solid, high value bike. And let me show you, let me just do a little doodle to explain what that means. You have high tensile steel, you have some chromoly, you have chromoly, and you have aftermarket chromoly, which is the best of the best. Okay, and if we look at the frame on the Kink Whip, it sits right here. If we look at the forks, it sits right here. Bars sit right here. Cranks sit right here. Okay, and then we also have double wall rims. This is what a single wall rim looks like. Just one little doodle. A double wall rim looks like this with chambers in it for extra strength so that it can withstand a beating. The Kink, it kind of looks like a happy face, but the Kink Whip has double wall rims like this. Okay, that's a spoke, and this is going to be just so much stronger than the single wall rims that you're going to find on the Kink Gap, the Kink Curb, or the Kink Launch. So if you can afford to spend some extra money, you get this level of quality, right? You don't get this level of quality. No, you don't get that because you got to spend more money for that. But for only $500, and you get all the way over here, like the top 75%, they don't really have anything here. Another thing we could talk about is the chain. You know, you've got 410, you got 510, and you got half link. All right, the Kink whip is right here. It's not a super good chain. It's a lower quality chain. So that's something I would change out. And something else I would change out would be the Kink Sever tires. But buying a new half link chain would be like $50, and buying a new set of tires would be like 60, 70, 80 bucks, depending on which ones you buy. But a new set of momentums, two demolition momentums would be 50. So you can only spend $100, and really this bike is going to be very solid for what you need it for. So in my opinion, if you're between 5'6" and 5'9", and you're moderately experienced, or you just want a bike that's pretty decent quality, you know, something that can last with you as you progress, something that you can ride and you don't have to worry about it just getting destroyed on you, I think the Kink Whip is a very good option. I always think that. Even a couple years ago, couple years ago, they came out at $550. And then it was not the best quality bike. The price had gone up, quality stayed the same. Not really the best value. There was some competition there. Now it's back down to $500. Good value bike, solid bike. I really like it. They don't pay me to say that. I just think the Kink Whip, in terms of price to quality, it's one of the best value ones for sure.